mean, it definitely reminds me of last time Sumail was playing mid lane competitively. He had that kind of Yasha build, right?
But that's the key right there. TA against squishy support heroes is the dream. And both Lion and ET, with no plus armor items, they just get straight up shredded. So he's going to want to find opening kills like that to start a fight. Then if the Doom goes off on either Timber or Lesh, that negates almost all their damage output. And theoretically, Wraith King won't be too threatening until he's got Radiance plus maybe another item or two.
Thing is if Kaka is careful, he really shouldn't be caught by that due to his very early Blink Dagger that he has, man. That's
18 minutes, yeah, it's not bad.
It's going to be hard for... Whoa, this flick from Zai, it looks like, picks up a fresh BKB, and it's already down to 8 seconds.
He didn't get any practice with that in either of his last 2 games, so unfortunate to click that early. He's 0-5-2 with a pre-20-minute BKB. Just straight up rushed it, but it does make sense. Again, the goal of Team Secret, get onto the backlines. Yeah. Doom onto a key core. And if you can't get into range of Leshrac without being afraid for your life, that's just not going to be possible. Top lane, Matu, I feel like we've seen him trees more than we have in creep waves. Not the ideal game. The Echo into Diffusal builds. That's the max out damage in the ultimate.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower.
I mean, you can see why though. Like this Boots of Travel, Yule's Leshrac feels like he's kind of everywhere. So he can't reliably sit in the lane for too long. Now we've got a Blink Dagger on Lion as well that he has to worry about. He's never going to feel safe pushing out these side lanes. He's going to always have to take a risk of some sort.
This is the right move from IG. They just wanted tier 2. You saw Emo poked and pressured to bottom. Now they've brought a lot of resources, and of course, in typical IG fashion, they've secured nearly this entire area with wards. This tower means immediate click of the outpost. That'll start getting them a bit of an XP advantage. Both IG and VG do this very well, just kind of grinding out leads.
Yeah. This early level 15 for JT means even more reactive armor stacks for him.
And the build on Flyby. Now that he's got the farm secured, hang on, JT, he's just messing with him. They've learned their lesson though. This is not a hero to target.
Yeah. JT's poking at them, seeing if Secret will respond, will fight back in any way. If they do, great. The rest of IG will be rapid on the rotation, and certainly no way JT gets bursted anytime soon.
It's Slinky style, you know. If you actually commit to JT, the rest of the team is close enough to retract. 5-10 seconds, they'll all be able to collapse. If not, they'll just keep farming, focus on efficiency in their macro.
So you're saying when he timber chains out, that's the stretching of the Slinky?
Exactly.
And then the rest of the team is the snapback?
Indeed. And now the top's dead. Look at all the sentries they've placed. They're sure, very sure, there are absolutely no traps anywhere in sight. How many? I think that was 8 or 9 sentries in this 3-screen.
Very thorough.
And a scan.
Just like they did with the tier 2 at top lane, right? They're cutting trees all over the place. They're going to make sure no Monkey King is hiding, waiting to start a team fight here.
That is 1, 2, 3, 6 sentries, 7 if you count the one in the pit, and 2 wards just to secure that area. But this again, IG style. Last time we commented it was 2K, now it's 3 and change. They have the Aegis, first Roche. Very much in control of the pace of this game.
Now Kaka, he smoked earlier, turns around, managed to get the Hex fast enough onto Zai. He's not going to be doomed up here. Boundless Strike goes out. But with Emo behind him, Team Secret do not feel confident enough to pursue. Very tense game for Team Secret after they just played a very long 3-game in a 2-game series. The course of about 4 hours, and now they're looking at a situation where they may just, it all may have been for naught. At least for them anyway. IG will be thankful.
We had what felt like a full game worth of filling. Let alone the ones that actually got played.
BKB now for Nisha. So now it feels like Team Secret are getting to a point. They've farmed up enough that the Templar Assassin is online. For your opinion, Kyle, how much does this change the game? Like, do they actually have an advantage in team fights now?
I'm not sure, because the trouble is, Nisha got here, but look at Flyfly. He's about to finish a halberd. We've discussed at length already how effective it is.
Well, they got to go for it immediately. The smoke up initiation on a Wraith King. That's no big deal. He's got reincarnation.
A lot of minus armor, though, going into the negatives.
Yeah, it does feel like this is the perfect time for Secret to force a fight because of that Midas, right? He's just going to die to this Templar Assassin every time.
The halberd is going to be big, and he's about to pick one up, because if you get that off, suddenly TA fully damage negated for 5 seconds. You really, really want to try and get something done here if you're Secret, but it's much easier said than done. The 2 towers, tier 1s that is, still being held by IG, really limit the amount of pressure they're able to put onto the map. If you look across the river, there's a single sentry and a single TA trap in enemy jungle. That is not what feels good for TA.
They're going to go for Nisha here. Now, Zai is somewhere close by. He's going to go for it. Blinks forward, hits the stomp. The finger of death goes out, but Nisha's still fine. That meld strike from long range is not going to be enough to kill Emo. IG full retreat. Kaka is going to die before his teleport can complete. So, no escape for him. 11-9 now, but it is still IG winning the game with a 5,000 net worth lead.
Yep, the armor talent on the Lesh along with the intelligence ring, quite possibly the best item for
Team Secret, they're moving fast right now around the map. They try to go, run forward bottom. Now all of a sudden they're making moves at top lane as Super is going to be the target of a rotation. Still though, IG doing a good job limiting their losses to only supports.
I figured JT might do this. He loves splitting items.
Yeah.
Whole IG lineup does. So Sanj Kaya, now a finished Halberd. They've got 2 of them. Very important that Nisha gets a BKB off early, because if he gets disarmed once, God forbid twice, where does Secret's damage output come from? I mean, Matu is doing his best. He's going for the very, not inefficient, it's slot efficient, but scaling inefficient.
Yeah, it's early game items, right?
Exactly.
He's trying to focus on the now, which means if they don't win fights now, they're going to suffer later.
Compare him to Fly, not just in current net worth, but also remember, Fly has gone for the greediest possible build.
Midas Radiance.
And he got away with it.
Yeah, he absolutely did. He read the game.
AC next up, controlling the armor. That's the name of the game here for IG and Team Secret. I want to say they need to do something, but what? Like, now is not the time. Arcane Rune bottled. Age is still active on Emo's Leshrac for 2.5 minutes. JT begging them, come for me, initiate on me. It'll be fine, guys. I have 41 armor. I don't even have maxed out stacks. Evasion.
Yeah.
The hood you could utilize, he's going to go for, is that a Bloodstone he has queued up?
Yeah. I mean, he had the cut anyway,
split it,
right?
okay.
So, yeah.
I get it.
Found Yapsor. Come in. Okay, no, there's no way this is a fight, right? Okay, maybe they're going to try. They have this opening on Super. Emo is in hot contest here. He's going to go for it. Nisha's already killed the 2 supports, yes, but now he's a bit surrounded. He's going to pop that BKB, return fire onto Emo as fast as possible. Matumban does manage to get off the Wukong's command before the stun comes through. They lost the life onto Emo. First life of the Rain King is fouled immediately. The stun's up, the chain stun going off, but it's not good enough. They're running out of firepower. Now they're just going to get kited around. A stun on Nisha, a stun on the Matumban. They don't have their BKBs anymore. They don't have enough damage to be able to deal with IG, and they get run over now in this team fight as the captain is the last to fall for Team Secret.
Wow. Remember, loser of this game, eliminated from the major. We will not see them again here in Kyiv at the AniMajor unless they 2-0 this series and take the tiebreaker. And right now, IG, I don't want to say they've got this locked up, but this is their game to lose. They have a net worth advantage, they have a tempo advantage, and they've invested for this phase of the game. Check out the item. I mean, Fly, he's about to hit level 20. JT already is. And if you look at the secret levels, Matumban's network, he has Echo Saber and a hood.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not great.
Fly is on item number 4.
Yeah. No, he's very rapidly, and like, you give this guy another 5 minutes and he will have a 10 lead on this Monkey King. He's already got 8.
Oh, poor Moth.
Good for him, man. Here, I finished sure, and they were very thorough in making sure they never gave that lead back.
That last team fight, I don't think it could go better for Secret.
Yeah.
Nisha 2-shot super. He had a huge side blade, so that Kaka actually then got Meld Strike from the high ground and died as well. Actually, really well played from Nisha. They get the double Doom off, and it's 5-on-3, but they had double lives on both cores of IG, so they just respawned and wrecked them.
Yeah. Smoke up from IG. Looking for their opportunity to break Team Secret. Benicia, a fast reaction from him. BKB and kills Kaka. IG immediately call quits on that attempt of a team fight.
Hey, that's something.
Invisibility.
We take that.
Yeah.
That'd be.
It's also another BKB charge, but
I
still
just
something.
I'm just putting on a clinic right now, though.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You can do videos. I think BSJ's already home right now. He rushed home to edit. Hang on.
Chakram. Refraction's been burned out. Nisha, he outputs a lot of damage, but without his BKB, he is so susceptible to the IG lineup, as that Soulbind is going to do nothing to slow down IGs. They've seen their opportunity. Nisha's dead for 70 seconds, and there's a tier 3 to swamp.
Before they close this out, look at the wards, Cap. That's what I'm trying to talk about. Remember all the sentries on the left side of the map? They've just slowly crept over to the right. Now you've got 3 wards covering 2 lanes completely and the triangle. Somehow there's, I don't know how you get these many sentries.
Dire's middle tower.
I thought they'd be out of commission at this point. There's 8 on the map.
They're going to try for an initiation here, because at 28 minutes, losing a lane of barracks is going to feel so bad, but they just have no damage. They were all in on Nisha. They put everything they had, every bit of net worth that was left on the map, into him, and without him, they don't have anything, as they're just getting run over by Invictus Gaming again and again and again. Fly with a fresh AC comes back and a fresh life, ready to rock, ready to take 2 lanes of barracks, and JT is going to have a little moment to say hello to the support sitting in the fountain, checking out what Puppy and Yapso are up to. Quite literally flaming them right now with his pickup of the shard. Soulbinds a stomp immediately. And they're getting a little close to this fountain. Maybe JT pop the Bloodstone. Never mind. Okay, BKB turn around with the Inkswell. They're going to try and go for this kill on a JT. It's a very massive one. If they can get it and get out, the Terrorize, and that's going to be enough damage. Okay, the start of something here, but a nice stun from Kaka. 2-man stun that leads into another stun. But now, Nisha, he just doesn't have enough to be able to survive through these fights. It's just it. Team Secret.
They're going home.
They're going home. 4th place at the last major, have secured themselves a spot at the International already, but they do not have a spot in the group stage for the 2nd major. IG, they now have a chance to be able to go in and take a tiebreaker against Nigma.
But Secret, they still have something to play for. Friendly rivalry between the 2 teams. If they can take game 2, nothing changes for them, but they would secure Nigma a place in the groups and prevent a potential tiebreaker that would take place here.
only reason you could see that they were two wards is because they had two different cosmetics, and one of the wards was like flopping to the side, revealing the other ward.
Had a literal animation now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys were very amused by that.
Come on, the warding is important, of
It
course, according to Kyle. So
It was. I went for Secret, and I still think that they had a pretty okay way to actually bring it to IG, but I think IG just doing this aggro tri-lane broke the game.
that literally.
I think that literally just ruined the whole game plan,
totally
because
agree.
I think
Alright,
Secret has
analysis.
this whole idea about how they do want to play, and then instead of that happening, instead of them shutting down this Timbersaw, which they wanted to do with this Monkey King pick entirely, it's actually a level 6 Timbersaw in 5 minutes. So it's a completely different game. They get their first Doom on the Timber,
Right.
he lives, and it's a disaster after that. I think
Yeah.
it's just complete steamroll from IG because of this decision making, which I really loved and didn't actually really consider. So heads up by IG for sure.
Yeah, well, it was exactly what you said, right? Because you said, well, the Team Seeker has a little bit of a better draft, but this Timber could go off, and that is exactly what happened. There were some good fights coming out from Team Secret as well, though. Later on, it felt like they made the game somewhat even again. Why couldn't they shift the momentum into their favor, or was it already too late by that time?
So the thing is, TA doesn't feel like the greatest hero when you're basically trying to 1v5, because the way she works is she's not tanky, you know? She just has refraction. And so she's not being entirely focused by literally everybody. She can just blink out with the refraction or just get out.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the cores on the side of Team Secret were so underfarmed. Zai was 0-6 in that game, and Matumba Man still was less net worth than Zai. And so that's a bad sign. And so that basically meant that every single hero on IG could just focus on killing Nisha. And there are a lot of heroes that can do it. You have Leshrac with tons of damage over time. You have Wraith King with the Radiant and the Skeletons, and even his stun is damage over time, and then Timbersaw with the Chakram. So the refraction charges did absolutely nothing. Nisha, despite being top network, was just dying in every fight because they could focus him.
Yeah, and they itemized perfectly for it, right? They're just like, well, Monkey King's got a hood, and he's literally jumping in the
He did
trees,
have a hood,
unable
yeah.
to play the game. Machu literally could not play the game because of how bad the lanes went. And then they just needed to itemize versus the TA. That's literally it. They just bought multiple halberds. I saw the disassemble coming out even from the Timbersaw. He had Kaya Sanj, swaps it out to that halberd with a Kaya casual to the Bloodstone, which
Yeah,
is
that was
perfect
nice.
build-up.
Yeah.
I think they did their homework. They did exactly what they needed to do in this game in order to just make it look like this Monkey King had no game at all. So
The Monkey King had no game, the TA, because of it, had no game.
Yeah.
And then it's all falling apart pretty fast. We talked during the draft about how we thought that TA first 2 picks going to get figured out. Is this it? Was this the TA being figured out, or?
This to me just looks like how TA has always looked when the game is not going so well for her, because like I said, just the sheer nature of this refraction ability is that if there's anything reasonably that can peel through it, then all they need to do is stun you once, and then you're going to die.
Yeah.
And so that's why the TA first phase does feel a little odd, and like something that should probably not, that maybe should be a second phase hero, or at least in that 8th pick where you have all of the bans to deal with it at the very least. But I actually think that was the situation they had it in this game. At least they banned a lot for the TA. So I guess to some degree, yes, but also there's a factor of this is just how TA looks when she's losing, is that she just feeds.
yeah, I think IG just came with a really nice plan. I really like this. I don't think Secret saw aggro tri-lane coming out. They're like, wait.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
good.
god, our Monkey
I
King
mean-
is screwed. Our Doom is screwed. Our TA is kind of having a good game. Oh god, he died mid to the left
Right.
track alone.
So
oh god, things are disaster.
The cool thing for me was the fact that, okay, so you have this Doom versus Timber, right? Obviously, that's going to be Timber favorite.
Yes.
Doom's not going to do so hot in that. But then, with the aggro tri-lane, what this does, this forces Team Secret supports to be so low level that with the Timber and the Leshrac, all of a sudden IG can run around and take every tower, and then you have these pathetic level 4 supports showing up to try to defend them. Like, usually the supports are the ones that show up to those tower defense.
Yeah.
And so if IG doesn't have a hero like Leshrac that can push behind the Timber, no big deal. We just get the supports level 6, we can just chill for a bit and get levels. If they don't have the Timber to tank for the Leshrac, same thing. It's the fact that IG had this draft with these 2 heroes,
Yeah.
and then did the aggro tri-lane that made this so nice.
Agreed.
Very well rounded, very clean, as our commentary team said as well, coming out from IG. And with them winning the first game of this 2-game series, we already know, guaranteed, Team Secret is not going to make it out of the wildcards. They are going home after this series. There are no second chances for them, and, well, luckily for them, they are already guaranteed going to TI, so they get a nice long break to think about what they could have done better here in this wildcards. on the other side, IG, it's not looking super clear-cut for them just yet because the next game will be the decider. If they win, they force out a tiebreaker between them and Team Nigma, which will be played later tonight as far as I'm aware. And that's just the best of one, by the way. And if they lose, they're still going home. It's kind of sad, actually.
Not hype.
Not hype.
No.
And it's so crazy that both of these teams, they both are already guaranteed for TI. IG won a previous major. And this whole wildcards, I mean, the Dota's been looking pretty good. Isn't it mad to think that the Dota should, by all accounts and purposes, get better tomorrow?
And I mean, it should get better, and also maybe it gets influenced. I think that's always the cool thing when we have these like separate, different like stages of tournaments. Is like maybe the other teams are looking and be like, "Wow, that's really smart."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
for sure.
change the way that we're going to be playing.
Right.
Too. So maybe we see some teams, like you said, adapting, maybe changing the way that they prioritize heroes. Maybe TA was the hot thing across all the teams because everyone's been scrimming each other. Maybe they're seeing this and they're looking, all right, maybe we don't want to.
I gotta rethink that.
Change stuff around. So it's always really fun being able to see like really good teams playing and even just wild card because it changes the entire dynamic of tournament.
It does really change the dynamics. What do you think? Like, IG, they looked good in the first game, but we've seen them also be shaky throughout the day. They had 3 series today, right? One of the few teams, actually together with Team Secret, that had 3 series today.
Yeah.
Hot and cold.
They lost a Gambit.
Which was very cold.
If they hadn't lost Gambit, they would be in the tiebreaker guaranteed right now. And then if they win the second game, they would go through.
Yes.
So they have to be really kicking themselves for that Gambit loss because Gambit's looked really shaky, like the shakiest team, of course, since I've
naturally.
Good for them because they have like the 2 stand-ins, but shaky overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a little weird because there's also some people that say they GG'd out too early out of that game. They might have still had a chance. I mean, there's always people making mistakes in Dota. It makes Dota a great game, but it also means that the game is never really over until the throne actually falls. They could be kicking themselves right now. At the moment, they're not kicking themselves. They're hanging out in the lobby and they're actually waiting for their opponents. Team Secret, none of them are in the lobby yet.
Oh, there he is.
Matsu's in. There we go.
Oh, okay, there we go. I was a little worried. It's pretty late.
Yeah, it is.
They could be volatile here and there.
What time is it, actually? It's not that late, is it? I lost track of time a while
midnight,
ago. Oh, all right. Well, I lost track a while ago.
I can't tell.
No,
I've got no
quarter past
clock
11.
anymore.
Dude, it's early. It's gotta be early. We're good to go. Sorry.
I think they've all been.
I'm sorry, Sheem.
Oh no,
I'm
it's
fairly
fine.
sure they've all been playing till like 4 a.m. because I see them in the pubs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
We're up at those degenerate hours.
we are definitely up those degenerate hours. I did hear the Burning Crusade did just come out for you, so
Not yet to touch it.
Okay.
I gotta be not yet to touch it.
he's been a good.
Good for you. You've been touching the Dota though, which is also a type of poison
It
for you
is.
sometimes.
It
The good
is.
type though. It's a lot of fun, but maybe in the wrong hours of the night, not so much.
Yes, sleep has been impacted for sure here.
Curious to see what's coming out in game 2. We had IG opening, of course, with the Elder Titan Lion, which worked out really well.
It did.
I feel like that was a very safe opening.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the draft that you'd say, okay, first phase banned that instead of Mars AA that Secret banned out this time around?
No, the Mars is very appropriate. I think JT's definitely shown that he's like the best Mars. We've seen a lot of other teams just banning out the Ember to set themselves up for different bans in like the 3, 4, 5 if they are going to be looking for TA because Emo is such an explosive Ember player.
Yeah.
But maybe you prioritize the Lion yourself because we are seeing that hero kind of up back on the rise. Maybe like you deviate, maybe deviate away from the Grimstroke, something like that, and you go for your own Lion. But
Yeah.
I think IG just overall outplayed the hell out of Secret that they couldn't even, it didn't even matter. I don't even know if it mattered which draft they really had because they just out-strategized them completely in this game.
You know what's an interesting phenomenon that I'm literally just now thinking about is like these like first phase bans on Ember and Mars. It's almost like there are so many of these like toxic weird cheese heroes being picked, like the TA, like the Morphling, these heroes where they win you the game at some point with some kind of bullshit strategy or combo, but they aren't really a do something hero. You know, they don't run around and do stuff. It's like they're more the inactive type. You know, Necrophos is another hero that I would consider to be along the same lines. Bristleback, which shockingly is not getting picked too much.
We saw it only. I saw it only once, right? And it was
Another
actually
hero, of
picked
course.
against Team Secret, where they picked the First pick Hoodwink. Do you think we're going to see first pick Hoodwink? This is
No.
their final game. If there's any time that Team Secret is going to pull out something wonky, this would be it,
They've been
because for
practicing
them,
it.
the only thing they're playing for is Team Nigma, actually.
So maybe they will then, if they just don't want to have.
What are the implications for? Maybe this is just putting you guys on the spot because I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
But what are the implications for TI, for OG, and the other European teams?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
At the moment, Team Secret guaranteed in, right?
Yep.
TI. So that's great. Alliance, 99% in. They got 800 points. At the moment, I think the amount of points needed statistically is 801, but they're already in the upper bracket. They're looking good to make it through. Now then you got Team Nigma and Team Liquid, and they're both in the same boat. They need to come top 6 at this major if they want to make it to TI based on points. Statistically, it's only if it's one of those two teams, it's only one. It's not going to be both. Surely not. At least, no offense, Europe, we've not looked the strongest of all the regions. So hopefully we
said
get
it,
one.
Not the North Americans.
I said it.
We
It's
did.
true.
We
I said
thought
it,
of
please.
I said it.
And as much as I would
Please
like
load up.
both teams to make it deep in this tournament, make it top 6, statistically, realistically, not very likely. So one of those two teams, Team Nigma or Team Liquid, and perhaps both, they're going to go to the qualifiers of TI. OG is waiting in those qualifiers. I don't know if you've been if you caught up with some of the other teams, but Tundra and Brain, two contestants that were tied actually with OG as well. They were playing in a tiebreaker for elimination. They're scary. And especially if it's a single elimination tournament, which I have no idea what's going to happen into qualifiers. I don't know the format, but you can't snooze in those teams.
No,
and you
definitely
can
not.
definitely lose series against them. And better yet, they have lost series against them, right? All these teams, it was a super close European region. So you're asking for the ramifications for OG for this major, pretty big, because they just hope, like, please don't let us have to face and Team Nigma and Team Liquid. Just one would already be a lot, right? Because they hadn't looked too good in the run up.
So they're definitely watching this, is what you're saying.
They could be. I mean,
Hello,
it's also
Hello.
it's also pretty late though. Who knows? I don't know.
It's not that late for degenerate gamers. Come on.
Fair enough.
Degenerate, is that the new? It's not OG, it's DG. Is that what you're trying to say right here? Degenerate gamer. I mean, come on.
We're all degenerates. No
That's fair. That
That
is
is
fair. But yeah, they're probably watching. I mean, they're not even watching for their TI amplifications because they. I think for OG, they're the kind of team they don't care who they have to face. They'll play anyway, and they'll play their own style. I think they're watching this series
Good attitude.
because they really like to watch Dota 2, and they really like to watch these teams play as well.
I like what we're seeing right now. This
yeah?
means a Brood is going to get through, or a Mars is going to get through guaranteed, right?
That is
Does IG first face? Does JT pick Brood? Does JT play Brood?
I think you ban the Mars if you're secret, because you play the Brood.
Yeah, but does JT
I don't know how
play
much
Brood?
IG actually does play the Brood.
They picked Brood.
They have picked it, but...
I think they picked it
Yeah,
yesterday.
they did. They picked it recently. They
Yeah,
didn't-
they picked it in the same game, I think, or rather not in the same game, but like in this, it was on the other stream, I
Okay.
believe. Yeah, we have seen IG play Brood, as far as I'm aware.
JT can play. Just,
So
yeah, it's-
AA also goes through as well, too, right? So we have a lot of heroes that were
Yeah.
banned last time around that are now going to be switched because we see a Magnus ban, we see a Lion ban. Okay, AA is going to be the one, so we leave both.
Sure.
They take the other one.
Assassin, okay.
Cool. All right.
Nyx Assassin is one of the few heroes that gets banned almost every time. I think it has the highest pick ban rate of the entire tournament.
So crazy.
And before this morning, or rather before today, because I've got the stats only of this morning, he had a 63% win rate with 8 games played over 16 games of Dota 2.
Good hero.
It's a nuts here. I mean, I think like at least for me, maybe this is like 5 position bias playing against this hero, but like, okay, there's the
They're going to Brood for sure. Yeah, they have.
the fact that there are so many hills to Sentry Ward and that the sentries are so much smaller means that Nyx is basically going to always be able to run into your jungle through some random ramp that is probably not covered by a sentry, at least not covered by a sentry that also covers one of those those high ground wards. So that's just literally the high grounds and the sentry wards make all Invis heroes significantly better. Of course, the removal of Necrobook also helps too.
Yes.
But I think this is just the best Invis hero currently And if Clinks was OP, if Bounty Hunter was OP, we'd be seeing the exact same thing with these heroes, right? Just Nyx is the most well-rounded of these heroes. He's the stunning guy.
He doesn't need. I mean, this hero just doesn't need items. That's what I've realized.
You really don't.
You actually just don't. You might get an item and it's like, wow, he's got Ags. This is phenomenal. But you don't need items. You scale ridiculously hard because of mana burn. And okay, cool. So what? IG they're in Mars, right?
Surely, yeah.
Guaranteed. So because they've got that good thing versus Brood, they've got JT. I'm Wind Ranger.
I think that, I mean, okay, so the Brood pick, I can get behind. We saw Matu, no, we saw Zai actually, I think, the other day. It was great. We've seen Team Secret do good things with that. We have seen them pick Wind Ranger first phase before. That didn't go so well. We know that it can be played by both Nisha and Yapsor. They can swap it around. Same thing for the Brood. Matu plays it, Zai plays it. They can swap that around as well, so it is somewhat of a flex. But I feel like it's a little cocky. At the same time, this is a team that is already guaranteed going home, so perhaps they just want to have some fun.
Sure, playing their favorite heroes. That would make me think that it's probably a Matu Brood then, because if he
I would think so too.
choose to play it, he will.
And I would hope that it's like, then it's probably going to be a Yapsor Wind Ranger, because I really hope they don't put like Nisha on Wind Ranger versus Nyx.
Yeah.
Oh look, a power shot. I run into a
Honestly, yeah.
Carapace, you die, dead, boom.
I think something that I've definitely learned through I want to say this tournament, it's been 2 days, feels like a lifetime, but like I think picking Wind Ranger core with the Broodmother, who's also basically going to purely be doing damage, like the good build, in my opinion, is doing damage with the spiders. I think that's the build that everybody's doing now, with like some Solar Crest. Maybe people are going Greaves for a while, but basically you're a right clicker with the spiders. But Wind Ranger, it's the same thing. Like, you're doing these small instances of damage, you just get hard countered by Crimson Guard. And I think Mars is actually really good against both the Broodmother, because you can just easily clear the spiders, and the Wind Ranger, because you're just this hero who literally soaks up ranged projectiles. And so if you run both of these heroes as a core, then what happens is you just have the same hero counter both of them. Both of your cores are not going to do crazy damage in the late game, which is an issue.
I also really just don't like it versus Nyx, so, like, as well, on top too, so it just makes it even harder, at least for me, to actually play the hero. Sure, you're disabled, that actually doesn't do damage, which can be cool, but I think that's better as a support.
Yeah.
As we've seen, the Lions versus the Nyx.
That works in both roles, you're right.
The last time Team Secret played Brood yesterday was, they played it together with an Ursa. And I think, Yankees, you were actually the person that said you really enjoyed that combo of cores for the map control it gave. And the Roche control it gave.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Actually, they were on Radiant as well, because like whenever you're Broodmother, and they ban the Ursa. They get that out.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you don't think about until you see it in a game, and it's like, oh my god, that's actually kind of ridiculous. Like, you're just Radiant, right? So Broodmother, you play in the offlane, you take the tower, you're probably the heaviest tier 2 pressure tower that exists in the game. I don't think there's any hero that actually pressures a tier 2 at like 5 or 6 minutes, and Beastmaster used to do it, Necro actually existed, but I actually can't think of another hero that pressures tier 2 like a Broodmother does. So she's the only hero that does that. You take full control of the jungle, and then conveniently on the Radiant, that jungle is also exactly where the Roche pit is. And then if you have an Ursa, well, Roche.
I actually really liked the way that they did that. Like, the power play, I wanted to say, it was like 3 things were happening on the map at once. They're killing someone top because the Brood's pressuring something else.
Turn to pick.
They've got this puppy Bane. He's played it a couple times. Did they have the Bane with the Brood as well? I think they did, right?
I think they did,
I think they had Bane, Ursa, Brood, +1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think I remember that as well. And they're going to get the Abba themselves. Abba versus Bane, really good. Shield, very effective. Also versus Shackle Shot, really effective as well. True. Those mean double melee supports, though.
It's an annoying hero if you're trying to run the Brood as an offlaner right now. It's like, you can't... Abba owns it's a support that owns, like, the melee trading guy. You just run in and trade better than they do. So, Broodmother, obviously, that's what you do now, because you don't get the spiders until level 6. So, I think that is good in the lane against the Abba. But you want something that you're actually, with the Abba. But you want something that's actually going to abuse that and get some farm with the Abba zoning the Brood. If it is a Brood offline, I suppose you have to be careful with that.
Yeah, it could still go.
Still fully flexible with the way they set up their draft. That's definitely true.
They're taking their time here. But they'll go for the Monkey King.
Going for it again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Other than Nisha plays it too, right?
Okay. I have a crazy idea here. Zai Monkey King, Matumba Man Broodmother. You run the Monkey King offlane against the Abba. Dumpster him in lane. Alright, just hear me out.
I'm listening.
That's all I have.
That's all you have.
That's all I have.
I was going to say, you're going to say that's all I have, I think.
do remember a period where he was spamming the Monkey King offlane. So was Seb. These guys were just fiending, just trying to make it work, and it didn't look like it was happening. But maybe here, today...
I'm really interested to see why they really like Monkey King, though, it seems. I mean, this looks like a really nice Morphling game now, in the midst of it all. Maybe now Brood can go for this Orchid build to be able to actually pressure a Morphling.
Yeah.
And I guess with the Monkey King, they did see this triple melee core,
melee, yeah,
so
exactly.
it does make it triple melee lineup, so it does make it a lot more effective, but didn't know its core matchup at all, so kind of just pick it blindly.
Just mids getting banned.
Yeah.
Looks like both sides think that the mid laner is yet to come out. So I suppose because the Abba Morph lane is such a strong one that it's like, all right, they're probably going to run these two heroes together. You just get the free heals, the full HP because of the Morph stats.
Yeah, that's now the Monkey King's making a lot more sense for me, right? It's a Mars and a Nyx lane probably.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna have to do some weird adaptation, a weird just pulling of the lanes, and Bane is the perfect hero to prevent that. You
Then
gotta
again,
go pull lane, you can just get slept.
It was a bit similar to last game.
It was.
Maybe IG does some lane shenanigans here. Maybe they actually aggro into the Monkey King with some pick and then run this Morphling mid and then run the Mars against the Broodmother.
That's definitely possible.
Which would do extremely well. It's the same situation we had in the last game.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I do think the Monkey King he's one of those heroes that looks really good at laning until you throw him against a tri-lane, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this hero has a very low armor and HP.
What would you like? I mean, honestly, Lesh doesn't sound that bad for me if IG goes for something like a Lesh aggro tri-lane with a Nyx.
I guess the only awkward thing is like Abba Nyx are the supports. That's the only awkward thing.
It is indeed. That's why you definitely need, like, if you want to run that, you need a ranged hero that's going to probably try to work with it, and I just can't really think of anything
Actually,
besides Lesh.
I'm absolutely certain that this is like the best Bat Rider game ever. Is it banned?
Not yet this time around.
I don't see why you would ban SF if you're going to go Bat, but I really think Bat Rider just
That's mind games right there.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Maybe it's a... I mean, IG is the team that picks this SF hero.
Yeah, wait, that's the thing that I was looking at too.
Nobody else picks SF.
I like this Lesh ban. I don't know. I was feeling like they might do something like that to shut it down.
This just seems like Bat owns all of these Team Secret heroes right now. It makes Monkey King's game completely unplayable, but I suppose there is the response pick, which is the issue.
And who plays the Bat then? Because JT's playing the Mars.
I think mid Bat.
You think the mid Bat?
I think he'd run some mid Bat.
Will be the
Bristleback. Oh, finally. What a hero, man.
That's another melee though. This is quad melee. Well, I mean, Morphling's also pretty short range.
Kind of a melee hero.
This is like a 4.5 melee into a Monkey King.
Last time Team Secret played against Bristol, they had a Hoodwink for the break.
10 seconds
they played it on position 5, of course, so there's that. But we know that they've been experimenting with it, right? In terms of positions where to play it.
Yeah. Maybe a Nisha Hoodwink.
God, I'm so torn.
Surely not. I know you're looking at me. It's like, no, it's not.
Please.
I'm so
It's not
torn
gonna
right now.
happen.
Just even without seeing the last pick, like there's a Brood, which I always like lean toward Brood lineups because when they have Brood players, because these guys just know what they're doing. But then there's a Wind Ranger and a Monkey King, and I'm like, ugh. And the other team though, they have like a Morphling Bristle, which looks pretty strong too. I mean, I'm so torn.
They need a really active hero for Secret. I think none of these heroes. I mean, this seems to be how every draft works these days. Going to the last pick is like they have a bunch of +1s.
They need something to kill Bristle. I don't know how they touch Bristles. Now they go.
Do we like the PL?
Wait a minute.
What the?
Wait a minute.
What is? Who is playing?
So
Nisha's playing PL.
Yo.
Yapsor Wind Ranger.
All right, they definitely just asked him. All right, Nisha, what do you want to play?
King.
What's your favorite hero for this? So that it does look pretty nice. Like you just stand outside of the fight and burn everybody's mana. But with that being said, this is like 3 carries essentially on Team Secret. It's a bit greedy with a Bane and a Wind Ranger as your supports.
Someone's got to. I mean, they're gonna have to sack 2. I mean, they're gonna have to sack their whole lineup for PL. It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the analyzing of this draft, but there is a very high chance that it literally was, hey, what you want to play for the last game for a major? It's major. And this is what comes out of that. I can only surmise from you guys' comments that you both like IG's draft better.
I'll lean towards IG. I mean, I feel like they have good ways of dealing with the Brood and if you can deal with the Brood, then presumably you can deal with the PL. The Monkey King is an issue, though. Monkey King versus 4.5 melee.
Yes, I mean, there's definitely some chances, but they've got a JT Mars. This guy's they're the best Mars in the world, so I have to lean IG this time, for sure. I've done it last time too, but
if the best Mars in the world will win this game, we will have a tiebreaker between them and Team Nigma. Let's find out if they get that chance or if Team Secret will tie this series. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Kat and Kyle.
Thousands of Nigma fans sitting there saying, screw you, Secret! How dare you take this opportunity for us to go further into the major? I hate you so much, but please, God, win this game for us so we don't have to play a tiebreaker, so we can just go straight to the group stage. And it's true. If Secret do manage to beat IG here, then they have, in effect, secured Nigma an opportunity to go to groups.
Indeed. And IG, of course, playing for their hopes and dreams to continue on in the major, and also to support their own region, because Vici, they're still playing for enough points to actually make it to TI directly. They want to prevent as much EU competition as possible to keep all the TI slots for themselves.
That's true. That's actually a good point. This is a regional battle, straight up.
And ultimately, I think that's the biggest irony. We had Slacks, who was going to make an announcement.
Yeah, it was a whole segment. He was going to start off having the headset, talking about Wind Ranger and an elimination game, but then he learned that Secret was already eliminated. He lost all interest in the bit.
Has something to do with them being willing to pick Wind Ranger. Battle of the Rune.
This may be an early first blood as Kaka turns hits the impale, but Yapsor actually dodges it, and as a result, will collect the last hit on the first blood.
Who doubts the Wind Ranger pick? I ask you.
Yeah.
As an opening, even.
That was an incredible amount of right-clicking he did there.
And it's a shame we won't see Team Secret again after this. This is their swan song, and it's a concept Puppy has loved. I remember losing to this all the way back at TI5. Bane, Broodmother. He liked it a lot. Like these two kind of roam-intensive ranged intelligence cores, like a lot of Crystal Maiden, some Bane, in this case Wind Ranger. You can play really aggressive in the Brood lane, give him a level advantage or farm advantage, and then just go away, and have more lane impact elsewhere. Surprising, the Abaddon into the Broodmother. You can see how this works out. I guess just to remove the Q, the Bola.
Yeah, the E, but yeah, it's I'm not sure. Oh, he actually blocks in Yapsor. Yapsor's gonna have to use the Wind Run to juke his way around, but Super's gonna get a lot of damage. I bet he kind of wishes he had the passive right here. I mean, he might have actually been able to get the kill.
He's going to get the kill.
He is going to get the kill. Yeah, the Aphotic Shield is going to pop pretty soon. Yapsor is going to be able to get out of sight, though, pretty soon here. As long as he's out of sight, he won't take any damage. I'm pretty sure he's far enough away. He will have to bring it underneath the tower, and as a result, Zai is going to have our time getting some of this CS.
Now, so keep in mind, though, we saw this yesterday when Nigma played Tidehunter against Broodmother in the safe lane. You do have issues dealing with Brood later because you can't actively kill Zai. So, Bristle, yeah, you'll win the lane. You can kill the spiders.
Yeah.
But he's just going to run the spiders away from your hero and back lane and farm jungle.
Yeah. For me, I think the biggest difference is that they have Mars here, who simultaneously can hunt spiders and also kill trees and make sure the Broodmother is in an area, right? You won't be able to use those webs to just skitter away like she so often does. So I'm a big fan of the Mars pickup, especially in this situation. It's really their only answer.
It's a really good point. You know, a lot of spells change in the last patch in terms of how they interact with trees. Mars Arena still, of course, kills them all in the area. So if you find Brood, you certainly have found him. And as our panel was saying, JT, best Mars world.
Yeah, no, he is really good. It was a very astute analysis, Kyle.
Thank you.
It was about as good as Cinderance. If it's an Alchemist game, it's an Alchemist game. If you found the Broodmother, you found the Broodmother. Nope. Zai almost getting popped at the last bit of quills. Any laner, safe lane carry, that can trade really well, Broodmother's just going to suffer in lane. Because your entire identity, because you don't have spiders, is entirely about being able to use lifesteal to right-click people. And as you can see, you cannot man-fight this Bristleback. So
he's doing much better than LTW did on the Tide.
Yeah, well, that is certainly the case. 18-7 for the Bristleback. 12-4 for our mid lane Morphling, who's matched up against the Monkey King.
And I didn't expect Super to do so well. He's just brown boots Abaddon, just happily running at Yapzor. And Yapzor is not really effective as you might hope, considering it was first two'd. One of the better 4 laners you would expect.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kaka and JT trading mostly even against the PL Bane.
What do you think about Phantom Lancer right now for the meta? Because we've seen this, especially in China. China started it, right? This huge resurgence of the Diffusal Blade as Kaka is going to take a lance here, gets the vision to be able to hit him with a Phantom Rush one more time, turn around, impale, Puppey trying to get in front of him. See if they can block him in. The lance is going to give some vision. Nisha's going to have that Phantom Rush soon, but it's Puppey who claims the last hit instead.
And it's unfortunate. They would have really liked to give that to Nisha. As for the power level of PL, I'm not even quite sure. Probably, oh, wow. It's suddenly 400 HP. Okay. Looked scary.
Throws down a bunch of, it was like a Skyrim interaction there. He just ate a bunch of food so he can keep fighting.
Super blows us out, but he will live.
But yeah, it's a Diffusal Blade hero, right?
Yep.
In China, bringing back the Diffusal Blade. Certain heroes like Ursa, it really felt like they were pushing that one the hardest. And I was just a bit surprised that we haven't seen more of this hero. As Fly is going to be taking a bit of damage. Nice shackle shot. That allows them to get in front of Fly here, and they're going to just stick on top of him and eventually get the kill. This may turn the lane around for Zai.
Yeah, because he just gets levels. Yeah, I expect Yapzor, he just marks. He's gone. Take all the XP you can. Yep. I'll go stack camps. I'll grab a bounty rune. It's now all about Zai's game. He wants to get 6 ASAP. Yeah, his CS might suck now, but get a spider army going, and suddenly you're not just taking top lane, you're taking a bunch of creeps as well. I like this. They actually just placed high ground ward super. I'm telling you, somebody make an instructional guide. I have not seen anybody in Dota over the last year ward better than Super, and he is the coach for this team. You won't see him play at a tournament again, most likely. I would assume Ollie will be able to make it to TI.
Yeah, no, he's definitely been doing an amazing job, but I have to assume he probably lends a bit of an ear to Ollie when it comes to the strategy of warding, because
he's a lot of practice. He's making the maps.
yeah, he's that guy. All right, when you're in this situation, don't ward here instead. Yeah. No, it's
planning out like CSGO coaches prep grenades and executes, it's okay. So walk up to that tree, turn right 300 units, and then right on that stone, that's the ward spot. Matu doing what he can. This gets a little tricky now, though. Morph has that high reach, can get right on top of him. Emo, he loves to be aggressive.
Trying to secure the power rune here. Spawns bottom. And that is picked up by Yapzor.
Yeah, and so
he's really going for him, huh? Super. I mean, I feel like Super, he's got an aphotic shield and a healing salve here. Unfortunately, the damage cut through the aphotic shield and broke the salve there. Super will finally fall. Montabaman may be able to get a second kill here. This rotation all of a sudden turns into being mega worse. Double kill for him. The support was whatever, but being able to kill Fly, that's fantastic.
I can hear the Enigma fans in Twitch chat. We were just kidding. Team Secret, we love you. Keep this up. You guys are doing great. We love your draft. Broodmother Windranger is fantastic. Don't listen to slacks. And now, another shackle.
Beautiful shackle. A spear? Okay, into that one tree with Hawkeye managed to land just a beautiful impale. That was a 3-man right there. Not only getting the kill on the Phantom Lancer, but allowing JT to juke for a little bit longer. Will he manage to hide away from Yapzor? Yapzor doesn't know where he went. He realizes it now, but it's a bit too late now. He's the one potentially trapped in a little bit here. Turns around, shackles up, does manage to keep Emo back, and Kaka not feeling the impale so much anymore.
Yapzor learned from that last time he was blocked up in the trees with a timely power shot just to break them, but space for Zai. This is big. He's caught up, and Bristle, in theory, very good at he was dominating the lane, but now it gets troublesome because he's going to itemize for the Vanguard Rush. He won't be able to die, but Zai will certainly start out farming him. And the moment he leaves to say, do an ancient stack like no one else on his team can, that's a dead tower. And then Zai suddenly sweeps through your whole jungle. Matu, please be careful.
Matu. He's going for Super right now. I don't think they could do anything to help him out. Slowed down by the Ebola and turned into more babies for Zai. Fly. He can just kind of stick around here and protect the tower, but as you said, nothing going to stop Zai from being able to hit creeps, hit neutrals, and they may even eventually go for the kill here on Fly if they poke him enough and they feel like he's low enough.
At the double down on the PL, you know, managing, hang on, fine. That's a
Think
back
about
into
it.
Matu, keep in mind.
Yeah, Matumba Man managed to get all 4 stacks here and somehow hits him in the face. It's going to hurt real badly. You can see Fly shrugging off the damage pretty heavily, but Matumba Man does at least now have an opportunity to regen up.
So Secret, with the PL last pick, they just double down on just units, raw unit count.
Yeah.
Because the AoE of IG is limited to the shield crash and the spines. Morphling hates playing against stuff. Any sort of creeps, any sort of illusions, not his forte. And if there's a PL with a diffusal just running at him, he would
Running
not
into each other inside of the jungle already. The arena sphere catching Zai, and with the adaptive strike, they manage to finish him off. And Matumba Man jumps away to the trees safely before he's caught as well.
Emo bought bot's first item. Is that a thing? I have never seen that on a mid-morph.
Yeah, that man wants to just run around and turn into what? Wind Ranger? Animalizer? Like, what is he turning into that he feels so confident that he can play super active as the Morphling in this game?
It could just, I guess, farm speed, right? You can link up with your team. No one, to be fair, no one's really that mobile. Like, Bristleback Mars, not exactly a great kill combination. And bots is quite nice. You never spend another dime on teleports. Faster CD, bonus move speed. You know, back in the day, even on a hero like SF, you would sometimes see bots rushed just for the efficiency.
Man, let's
stay on that more.
Emo gonna put a stop to that Fiend's grip. JT will be released from the clutches of Team Secret.
I don't know if that was ever gonna work, Cap.
Yeah, well,
Vicious grip.
certainly wasn't gonna work. Felt bots Morphling.
That's true.
He was ready to go.
JT gets the room.
He's gonna have a hard time getting off any good Nightmares or Fiend's grips with this Abaddon.
That's pretty much just a straight up counter. Didn't they pick Bane into a bad? No. Secret was second pick.
I was not watching the draft, to be honest. I was busy with other things.
Where's own body pillow?
He's right next to me. Super.
Waters rise.
Dire's top
He's
tower
okay.
is
He's
under
okay.
attack.
Matumba Man a little bit skittish about diving in too deep, as he should just kind of be happy, I think, with the game state, considering the fact that Zai is beginning to take that tower, I believe, and
Dire's top tower
beat
is falling.
on his way up to Zai is going to be caught halfway through by Kako, who's just kind of sitting around with Vendetta. Finds a support kill. Nothing major, but the big theme of this is what's going on with the Broodmother. Well, taking that tower, taking over the map.
Yep, and this time it's Secret that looked like they're ahead in the warding game a couple of centuries, securing this part of the map. And Zai now wants to cut, he wants to play top wave, kill jungle creeps, and at some point watch for the move middle. That's the big link, specifically around the PL defusal timing. It's coming up soon. But Emo with a nice move. Bottom lane, they're going to secure that tower. Matu going for the hood build once again on Monkey King. He'll be very tanky, and here comes the move.
A classic maneuver from a Broodmother at this point, where you take that top tower, rotate into mid, and immediately start putting pressure on the supports that are typically standing around this tower. Maybe actually take the tower with the spiders. It's something that IG is going to have to be very, very disciplined in positioning.
IG just have they have the art of foresight in this game, where of course Emo's buying bots. He's playing against Broodmother Cat. Somebody needs it. Otherwise, you're gonna have your Bristleback forced to kind of make the map 4v4, and then Brood abuses move speed to get that numbers advantage somewhere on the map. Hang on.
Emo is going to be caught before he can manage to get it off the more strength, but he's got to go Scepter, and that's all physical damage coming from those two. A long-range shot from Yapsor almost clips him, but Emo's going to be good for now.
He's just playing for the later portion of the game, where he'll have the E-Blade, he'll threaten Brood, he'll be able to clear spiders, especially once waveform attack comes online.
Yeah.
And then he can join his team a lot faster than Spider. Never have to worry about that backdoor, I guess, well, would you call it ratting if it's a Spider doing it?
Dire's top tower is
What's a
under
bug
attack.
version of a rat? Termite.
Close enough.
Termiting.
Wait, Nisha? What?
What happened there?
Radiant's
Kaka.
bottom tower is under
He
attack.
just found a kill on the carry of Team Secret by himself. He found him low, farming up neutrals like what Matumbaman's doing now. It was a massive kill.
That's enormous. That's the hero that went, you know, well, the IG, they have to create builds. Secret.
Excellent.
They want to fight, and fight now. That's a rush defusal on your PL, a hood. on your Monkey King. They're not exactly investing for the
Radiant's
future.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I guess the level 4 stun perhaps playing a role.
It definitely feels like both of these teams, more so IG, I guess, because of the Broodmother presence, they aren't really able to make the moves they want to make so easily. It looks like they're going to try and do it now, which is taking this mid tower. They do have the double damage on JT to make this a little bit easier. They're telling Team Secret, you need to fight into this bristleback. And Zai, if he wants to, can try and grab behind, but you can see IG, they're already laying it deep, but a boundless strike on a 3 is going to set this up nicely. Matamba Man burned out of mana, will not manage to get off his Wukong's command, and he's stuck inside the arena still. Emo's going to join in, trying to finish him off. They do manage to do so, traded up for the Nyx assassin. Nisha's not really ready to go for these team fights. The Broodmother is coming in. Here comes the group of spiders, and a shackle shot actually lines up. JT trying to roll and burst on all the spiders, managed to get the spear out before he goes down, but Fly is low. He's nightmared up now. The Abandon's trying to keep him alive, but a Fiend's grip onto the Morphling. They've actually caught him trapped, and there's nobody alive to be able to save him. This Abandon's been pushed away from both of his cores. He won't be able to save either one.
That is Puppey. For his boy, fighting not for his own team, but for Kuroki and his. The buyback, the sleep on the bristleback to set up the grip for the morph. YapzOr double power shots, swipes both kills. That is huge. That is huge. Punishing the dive from IG. The defusal was not there for Nisha at the onset of that fight because he had been picked up by Kaka. They were not going to have damage without a buyback from their captain. Now with the 2k gold lead, doubling up IG's kills, and Brood PL now top 2 spots on the net worth, plus they have map control.
And it feels like that was IG almost making a move that was so aggressive, it was out of sheer frustration. It was just like, we're getting closed down by this Broodmother. We need to force a team fight, and next thing you know, they're between the tier 1, tier 2. They get triple stunned by Matamba Man, and you're right, with buybacks coming into play, they didn't really have much of a hope of being able to win that fight. Things are looking a bit dicey now for IG.
Yeah,
and probably felt confident if they could win this series going up against Team Nigma, because they did 2-0 them in that very tight series we casted.
Indeed. And the way they were playing up until just that moment looked like they were just dominating. And how is JT so underfarmed?
Yeah.
I guess you know what it is? Emo took bottom lane from them at like 8 minutes into the game. Yeah, they killed tower, but JT hasn't really had a place on the map since. They just lost that fight. He's still 1,000 gold away from a Blink Dagger, so the initiation potential for IG really isn't there. And yeah, of course, Roche, we saw this in game 1, but it was IG controlling the pit as the Radiant side. Now all of a sudden it's Secret. Look at the warding. They've got their own, 5, 6, 7, 8 sentries all on the map. The scan comes out, but you're not going to be able to stop them. That's a Solar Crest Broodmother.
Yeah, I would have to say, like, I really think they needed to set JT up for more success. Because I think he's more of the counter to the Broodmother.
Yeah,
and the Morphling.
The whole army died.
Yeah.
Not very good parenting from Zai, but I can't blame him.
Yeah, sometimes mother's got to do what she's got to do. Single mother and all that. Matamba Man slowing down Fly here. The Advance teething in, but the Shackle's holding him down long enough for them to put some serious damage in. Last bit of heals. They need another shot, and they've got it. Nisha is now dove in so deep, he can kind of look at Super. Does have that ultimate to worry about, so Nisha's just going to try and reset with a Phantom Rush here. Kaka's going to go for the blow. Oh, we missed out on the impale. Nisha managed to dodge that one. He actually kills himself in the spike airbase, but he had that Aegis still. He's going to come right back with full health, full mana, and go for the kill on Akaka. They've got that rather easy. Is going to be chased away. The rest of IG, you can see their 2 cores. They're saying that's a Broodmother side of the map. We're not going near that.
Radiant's middle tower
and Matu, wide right on that stun. Might have been able to kill Super had it landed. Emo, though, a ton of damage, and it's a big threat now. That's an E-Blade morph left by himself, and he has no intention of joining these fights anytime soon. He wants skirmishes. Will they be able to defend the tier 2, though? That's huge for Secret, because it allows them double outpost control. It's only 17 minutes in the game. That's quite early to have both XP runes.
I'm sorry, did he just find a salve on the ground from a shovel?
He did.
Oh, that's neat.
Cool. You can use those.
Oh, he was missing like 200 health.
Yeah, still anybody's game, but so far...
Morphling found him. YapzOr showing off the combo. That's an unstoppable kill streak as well. That's a big solo kill for Emo to pick up.
Yeah, the Fairy Stringer for the little bit of bonus spell damage, and that is what you're talking about if you're a Morphling.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a bit of mana issues sometimes as well, so...
Of course, though, why does that happen? That ward, you see it on your screen right there. It's going to get sentry right away.
It's going to protect it. They're going to make sure it doesn't go down without a fight.
Yeah. Importance of warding. Once again, you can take notes as we go over it. You're going to see Super's impact all game long.
Kaka underneath this sentry that's right next to this hard camp, and he's not able to get out of range of it.
Tier 2 items starting to be collected. What's Monty going for? Yeah, Echo Saber after the hood. He'll also be going for the diffuser build, one can imagine. So, like Fogged and Jenkins were saying, you don't necessarily have great answers to the Bristle Morph, but theoretically, IG's draft, useless without mana. You're going to have a hard time keeping it.
Oh, certainly. Do you feel like, looking at those later stages of the game, do you feel like one team has the advantage? Because they don't have the direct answer to the Morphling, but they do have Diffuser Blades. There's a Broodmother on one side, which does kind of fall off a little bit. Where does this end, ultimately?
Oh, well, we saw some of these shenanigans way back at TI8, TI9. There will be certainly
a Adam's going to spear onto the Broodmother, but where's the follow-up here? It's just Super catching up now. If Kaka can land a stun, but he didn't.
Wait, did JT... I don't think he got it in time, but he actually took over the outpost instead of attacking the Brood.
Yeah, I was wondering what he was doing.
He was just standing there, but yeah, it was outpost.
He just really didn't think they could kill the Broodmother, or what?
Maybe setting up for an emo TP?
Yeah, maybe. They're saying we need the Morphling to be able to kill, so, I mean, that's such a long duration of events, though. It's a long TP.
I'm going to channel this for 6 seconds, then you TP in. It's only 5.
If we could just keep the Broodmother here for 15 seconds, guys.
Plenty of time. It is important, though, that IG maintain a foothold there, because without a top tier 2, like that outpost is effectively just an extra 3,000.
Oh, Puppy, he's faster at being able to get the Nightmare off than JT is being able to blink dagger away. He was not expecting to run into the captain of Team Secret here in the trees.
But bear in mind, Emo, he's doing his own thing. That's the second pickoff on the App Store. Top net worth now, and it's a little dangerous for Secret because they simply cannot allow an isolated support. Even Montu is susceptible to the combination. Also explains why he went for this hood. He cannot be burstable by the IG lineup or his team is in some trouble.
He's going to go for it. Leads off on the strike. Is this damage going to be enough? Emo will go. Oh my, why was he right-clicking at all? He didn't E-blade himself. He didn't wait for him right away. Emo
just shrugged it off.
Yeah, seriously.
Matu playing with fire. Pings out Kaka. Blink now on the App Store. Will pay dividends immediately, it looks like.
Kaka.
The App Store gets the stun off, but still had shots coming because of the focus fire. One of the 2 on the way is enough to finish. I like that. You see the shard build on the PL. It's coming out. Makes sense. It's all about the mana burn.
No, absolutely. They're just going to have to play these long, drawn-out team fights. Killing the spiders, looking for the spear. Whips it, though. Emo, maybe he can still kill him as he's locked inside of this arena. Yep, there it is. The shotgun is going to be enough. No matter how much Zai skitters back and forth, he can't dodge that single target.
If you go back to the location where Zai died, you'll notice another key component of that kill. Once again,
is it a ward?
It's a ward.
It's a ward.
It's a ward.
Super. He's doing it. The man's doing it. It's so cool to see coaches in these situations. When was the last time we had that? It was like a Star Ladder event. Kakasa, right? Like, he came back in, he was a coach, plays it out, he says, guys, let's do, this is my last event, like, this is the last opportunity I'm going to be able to play competitively, like, let's go out on a high, and that was a great story.
The last major, right? RMN, yeah, maybe they don't make it out of the wild card, but
that was a bit of
he balled out. Like,
yeah, he did. Yeah.
He's playing mid. And Secret, they're trying to do the same.
They found him. Kaka, they know he's lurking around here in the trees, and there's only so much. They're going to get a decent amount of damage onto Fly's coming in as well, but Matumman was able to jump into the trees. Instead, they're going to look at Nisha here with the Aghanim Scepter. It's rather easy to find the real one, but look at that. The vision on the high ground allowed Nisha to be able to Phantom Rush. Is that movement speed going to be enough? Emo seems to be locked onto him right now as he's turning into a Phantom Lancer as well. The real one slips away yet again as Matumman is causing some serious havoc, but the shotgun came in and finished off the carry of Team Secret. Matumman is still fighting around his Wukong's command. The problem is, Fly is making sure he doesn't get a chance to jump into trees, but Puppy He sees an opportunity, but the shield, it takes out the Fiend's Grip. A shackle shot latches down. It does manage to kill the event, but Fly is going to take that extra health and run with it. He charges after YapzOr, making sure he's not going to go anywhere. Attempts to turn around and shackle shots, but it's denied. Fly with a double.
Top outpost taken though, but unfortunately nothing else from Zai. He's not even involved in that team fight. Puppey once again buys back, but there's just simply no game impact for him to find there. No objectives close enough for him to teleport into. And the big problem, Fly's Aghanims. Like, you can't stop him. You can't target him right now.
He's got Yules, but he doesn't have Vendetta. He doesn't have a quick way to get out of this one. Maybe Yules at the last second. Another Spike Carapace. And then the Vendetta. Okay, he's good.
That's why Yules really well played by Kaka.
Yeah,
that is just so composed. You can see why this is a squad that won the major. Now eking out a slight gold lead, but you can see big problems for Secret on the horizon. Doesn't matter.
That is not going to do enough damage, no.
No, it is not. And
I mean, it's definitely not because he's got the cloak thing. Yeah, the shot. Good call, Kyle. Yule's Scepter. A little bit of lag as the spiders die, but they will manage to land the spear this time around. I will say, yeah, that lag you're getting, that's just Broodmother thing. So if JT misses a spear sometimes because of that, don't blame him.
It's going to get worse too, because it doesn't matter how many illusions there are. It doesn't matter how many spiders. When Bristleback hits Q, it's going to apply nasal goo to literally every unit in range. So it's actually a really cool way of dealing with all the stuff Secret has. 9 spear.
Great catch. That is a big pickup. Did you get a shackle shot? Is that going to be out? No. Yules into the impale. Oh, okay. A little bit of nightmare, a little bit of invulnerability. Time for Nisha. Running. Wukong's man goes out. They're charging after him, though. Nemo still picks up the kills. Matumba Man is going to wait in the trees. He knows his team fight is already lost. He's just looking for an opportunity to escape at this point. Down the river he goes. And away to safety as he rafts on out of here.
Oh.
Or does he? Kaka spots him for a second. Cut down the tree. Matumba Man's already out of there. Don't think Matumba Man's going to take any risks with this one. They're doing Roshan right now. They've got a Bristleback lineup, Kyle. Roshan's pretty easy for them.
The second one as well. A free shard for somebody.
Oh dear. Puppey, he tried his best, but he may not be able to do it for Europe here. We may be looking at a tiebreaker, a best-of-1 tiebreaker between Team Nigma and Invictus Gaming.
It is not the anime storyline we expected.
Another spear. Land. JT. Airball coming in as well there from Fly. He picked up the shard, I believe, so.
IG, man. Winners of the last major. Looked a little complacent earlier today.
Yeah.
Got steamrolled. Was it Gambit who took them down?
Yeah, the fact that Gambit managed to win a game against them. Okay, Nightmare on one, Fiend's Grip on another, but Emo is coming in. He actually throws out and tries to protect Kaka rather than stopping the Fiend's Grip right away. Nisha caught in this Bristleback mess that is the Aghanim Scepter. Another beautiful shackle shot that's holding in Emo. He's getting burned out of a lot of his mana on short wait for it, but Fly's there to be able to pick up the kill from the Quills. Puppey, he did what he could, but ultimately IG brought enough heroes to stop that Emo, who played his own game early on when it was looking kind of bad. His boots of travel playing along the side, and Matumba Man, a little bit of kill there on Super, but yeah, I mean, Faith and Emo
pays off.
He just said, I'm gonna play my own game, guys, and now he's doing a godlike spree for him. He's carrying IG.
And the trouble is right now Super is worth both Secret supports because he can just shield off the grip or the shackle.
Yeah.
Also, Secret supports just feed. E-Blade combo, yeah, you're dead. Bristleback gets too many QWs off, yeah, you're dead. There's just not a damn thing you can do. And JT, he's free to save Arena for the big targets, the PL, the Broodmother.
And this is the worst time to see a Broodmother is when she's playing defensively on her side of the map, inside of her base. You want to have this hero like constantly on the enemy side, constantly ratting out. Matumba Man does manage to get off the Wukong's man. JT immediately responds, gets off Arena, trapping this Monkey King. He's going to get no help from Team Secret. And now, once again, on the retreat, but this time IG. They can finish off, I guess, that range barracks, or maybe it's not even worth the effort.
Man, just trying to think about our screenwriters in the back. They must be working overtime.
Yeah, everything twists and turns on this narrative.
Indeed. Secret supposed to avenge Team Nigma, but instead, they'll potentially lie defeated, looking up. Brother, I'm sorry.
It could be once again the Chinese region, proving to be the strongest AniMajor. Long-range spear doesn't quite hit the tree. I'll miss out on a pick-off there.
14,000 gold, but more importantly, just utter domination across the map. Like, whew, I haven't seen something go that downwards parabolic since AMC. 21 to 22. I'm trying to think how does Secret get into this, Cap, but
yeah, team fights are looking real rough now.
The trouble is that their whole lineup is predicated on having this like just unit advantage, right?
Yeah.
And the spiders and all the illusions just die to one shield crash. The goo is everywhere.
This early Aghanim's pickup from the Bristleback, like that, they seriously had a big timing when he had the Aghanim Scepter and Emo was ready to go with the E-Blade. And it felt like this advantage that Secret had been building that was just destroyed instantly. 12, 1, and 4 for Emo.
Radiant are scanning.
And
Radiant's
like,
top
Ags
tower
is
is
a great
under
item in
attack.
theory if you're ahead, right?
Yeah.
You're a brood player.
Yeah.
If you're behind, it's just like, oh, I can make more webs.
It
But
just doesn't do a damn thing for you. JT dropping the arena to drop Matumba Man out of the trees onto the ground. A hard landing for him. He's trying to push him out of the Wukong's command right now. Couldn't quite get him far enough away. And now he's kind of stuck inside of this arena of death. Taunting Matumba Man. Matumba Man not going to take that, though. The spear almost catching him as he jumps away. Funny part is, he's got no backup. JT didn't have any assistance coming in. They're all on a different side of the map. Two of them right now in this bottom lane.
Yeah, they're just playing their own game right now. I love that from IG. They're very good at always playing different areas of the map. So bottom lane, Kaka's placing a ward and hunting a kill. Still is. JT's doing the same top. Meanwhile, Flyfly just took a tower.
I found a courier. He says, oh, the Phantom Lancer is here in this corner, guys. His courier just ran past me. They've got to be over here. He would be totally right. He knows the Broodmother's here at least, but he probably still suspects at least the Phantom Lancer. But they've dug themselves some sort of very strange tunnel. They're going to TP away. Zai will stay to cut the creep wave some more.
Never a good sign when both your side laners return.
Got him. Yule Scepter. Impale follow up and JT. Shirley with the arena spear. See if they have enough damage. Well, Emo's here, so they definitely have enough damage. Beyond godlike for him.
The Slinky. Just everywhere at once. Looking out, scouting some sort of opportunity. And they've got many ways to delay gratification and find the follow-up stuns. A Yule's into a stun, that's 5 seconds for Emo or JT to arrive. They're going to be able to do so. They still have that tier 1 bottom. They've got both outposts controlled. Now a DD on Flyfly with an early Abyssal Blade, so even more lockdown. Pretty much shreds the support by himself. He has, with maxed out Warpath.
Yeah, I was going to say, maxed out Warpath, double damage, Bristleback. If I'm Flyfly, I'm calling for my team, like, we can hit the tier 3 tower maybe a few times, so I'll probably only take 10 hits. But if they want to be safe, they hold the map until Roshan's back up, right? No reason to take any risks with their major life here.
Indeed. And keep in mind, what's at stake here? Secret, they're already eliminated. However, IG, they must win, and they must then win the BO1 tiebreaker against Nigma.
What time is it right now in Keith? It is
12:07.
midnight, so we may be burning some of that late night oil here to be able to keep the wild card story going, close it out. Finally have the second team that is going to be joining Vici Gaming in the group stage. And no matter who it is, Kyle, I feel like these teams are going to go far. Right? Whatever two teams it is, they've certainly proven in this just tough wild card that they've got what it takes to probably make at least top 8, I would guess.
And it's crazy as well, the implications for TI, for regional power. China already with 3 slots secured. Aster, PSG LGD, and IG. They're all most likely, I think, 99.9+%, whatever. They're going to TI, guaranteed. Vici, they need top 6. They would be able to do that. That means China, with their qualifier, would get 5 slots.
Insane.
At a $40 million tournament. EU, if Secret don't win this, and if Nigma don't win the immediate tiebreaker, it means Liquid have the only hopes to earn an extra spot. Otherwise, it would be just Secret Alliance +1.
Yeah. Team Liquid also in a position where they need top 6 in some
Radiant's
sort of
middle
weird
tower
scenario,
is
maybe
under
even
attack.
top 4. Kaka moving around with an A on disc right now. So even as they spot him here, there is going to be ample time for his team to be able to respond to this. And you could see coming in waves almost immediately the BKB pop by Emo as he's charging forward, already catching Puppey. Zai skidding her way in the trees here, but look at that, he turns into the Wind Ranger to be able to cut down some trees. Shackle shots up the Phantom Lancer. Arena keeping him and Matumba Man inside of that. JT with just beautiful placement, and Emo looks even to shut down Zai and all of his movements. Remember, he's got Shackle Shot, he's got Power Shot, he can potentially spot out Zai, waveform towards him. Instead goes after a couple of spiders, but the rest of his team focused on objectives straight down the lane.
Still got bots as well, so we can join if necessary. The buybacks are forced. Can you stop them? That's the question. Zai's committing to the rack. He has to. They're gonna lose base.
They certainly are. And there is no tier 2 in that top lane either, so IG could just as easily force a move onto Megas. Found the strike, looking to slow them down as they start retreating backwards. Nisha poking at them with that Phantom Lancer shard. It chases them for a bit, but the TP, JT's going to be the first one to lead off, and Zai knows he has to give up on this. Still not level 20, by the way, which is why he's not able to rat to his full potential. Honestly, Broodmother trying to take tier 3s, it's slow as hell until you get that extra spider damage talent.
Yeah, it is. And just look at IG, they've gone full on.
Matumba Man sees an opportunity, but it's going to have to be a fight without his captain and without Zai. A 3 versus 4 in the mid lane commences, and Emo, he doesn't give a damn about Matumba Man. He's going straight for Nisha, who they already found with the Abyssal Blade. JT, he calls her to get back, but I don't think that's necessary because Team Secret, they're going to be calling the GG here. They have not done it. IG are the ones who are going to be progressing forward. IG will be the ones having the opportunity to play a best of 1 tiebreaker against Team Nigma. Let's see. Is it going to be both the Chinese teams moving out of the wildcard stage in that 1 and 2 position, just like they did at the last major